Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So it's been quite a bit since I've actually made a video, and I'm finally making videos again that I really want to make. But today I'm going to be talking about the FN 509 Tactical. In full transparency, I wanted to tell you how I acquired this gun. A company called Gulf Coast Gun out of Florida, they sent me this 509 in exchange for shoutouts on my social media. I'm going to give a review that is more or less the good, the bad, and the ugly of this gun. Yeah, so be sure to check out Gulf Coast Gun down in the description below. All of their Instagram, Facebook, and other social media outlets are going to be in there, and you can peruse. But thanks GCG for sending this out. So let's get into the specs a little bit. So the 509 Tactical comes in 9mm. It is more or less 1¼ inches wide, about 8 inches in length, barrel length of about 4.5 inches. It weighs a little less than 2 pounds and comes with 2 magazines, a 17-round magazine and a 24-round magazine. It comes in both FDE or black, and it comes stock with Trijicon 3-dot night sights. It is optics ready. It does indeed come with a bunch of different plates for other optics, and it gives you a whole guide, and I'll touch on that in a little bit. The price range for this gun ranges anywhere from $7.99 to $10.49, depending on where you look. I guess some of the good things about this gun are the fact that it does come optics ready. That's the first and obvious thing that I noticed, and that normally people buy it for. Yeah, you have the threaded barrel, but you know, having that plate and everything at a decent cost. I wouldn't say it's necessarily cheaper than other guns that offer the same, but it does have that going for it. And I think a good thing that they offer, I'm gonna bust it out of the case here, are the plates and instructions. You probably see that right there. I've got it all in this little baggie that it kind of came in. I think it's kind of cool. It does eliminate a lot of third-party plates that are out there, whether they're better or not. I think that's really up to you as to what you want in a plate, but I think for people that have an optic ready to go, they can just mount it on to the slide and pretty much go from there. So I think kind of to name a few of the plates that it comes with, and this is what I really love. There's a comprehensive guide on what exactly, is you need to mount your specific optic. I think it goes everywhere from Loophole Delta Point Pro to a Trijicon RMR, Vortex Optics, Burris, Aimpoint Acro, and all of the associated plates and combos that might go with that particular gun. So I think one of the pros of having a gun that has a bunch of plates and ways to mount different optics is it kind of eliminates that third-party reach that a consumer might go for. Whether those plates from the third party be better than this or not, I think that's really up to the consumer. But I think FN's kind of, with this gun in particular, is addressing kind of a need that other third parties have kind of filled in the past. But I've used a lot of different plates for my other guns and whatnot. But I think because of this, really out of the box, I really only need a couple things. I mean, it gives you kind of a diagram on kind of everything you need: the screw types, the little parts that you need, whatever. I actually don't know the terminology, so forgive me on that one. Another pro about this gun that I think is really nice is the fact that it really doesn't affect me personally that much, but I know a lot of guys that are left-handed, and as you can see, you've got a slide release on this side and a slide lever on this side, and then you also have a magazine release here and a mag release there, and that's pretty sweet. And like I said, doesn't affect me that much, but for those that are looking for ambi controls on a handgun, this is the perfect gun for you. Another thing that's really nice are the magazines. So YouTube's been very weird about, you know, showing things, putting magazines and guns, screwing suppressors on a barrel, so I'm not going to do that necessarily in this video, but I will show you kind of the two mags that it comes with. So you've got a 17 rounder, sorry if you can't really see that well, yeah, so here's a 24 rounder that I think is awesome, and it looks kind of cool too. So really quick, you can see how it kind of looks in the gun. I honestly think it looks kind of goofy, but I mean, nobody's complained about having more rounds in their gun, so I'll take it. But I would like one of each or two of each mag more in my collection. I think I'll probably do that here soon. The fourth thing that I think is really good about this gun is it has a nice padded zippered case. So as you can see here, it has a really cool case that has room for about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mags, and then it's got a little admin pouch here that I've put like documentation, the lock that comes with it, and so on and so forth. But I think that's kind of nice. It did come in a sizable box too, which I have right over there, but I'm not going to show that. But yeah, I think that's really nice, and it kind of eliminates having to use like something like Glock with the boxes. A lot of people like those. I don't. I think they're bulky and they kind of get in the way of, you know, I don't put my guns in there. I put them in other things and whatnot. But I'll put my solution for carrying multiple guns in the corner here. Another thing too, obviously it's the 509 Tactical, and the 509 Tactical denotes, I guess, the height sights, the optic solution there, the increased capacity of the magazines, but it's also this threaded barrel here, and I'm sure you can see that right there. But this threaded barrel is, you know, this gun in general is a great suppressor host, but let me show you. So I've got my beautiful Dead Air Wolfman that I've had for a while now, and I've thrown it on a lot of other things like a Flux Raider, a couple PCCs that I've come across, and just a couple pistols too. When my Glock, before I put the Parker Mountain Machine compensator on it, I would run this all the time, but then I threw that on, it doesn't really come off. So here it is here. I've got the Wolfman right here, and really quick, due to some of the YouTube rules, I will not show you what or rather demonstrate what I'm doing here. So just picture me, you know, whatever this sound is, YouTube doesn't know. No, not really doing anything else. But yeah, here it is. Beautiful pistol. Anyway, so the Wolfman comes in a long and a short configuration. I'll probably do another video on this can. Super versatile can, especially if you're trying to save space. It does affect kind of the sound suppression, flash suppression, but honestly, I don't find an issue with it in this short configuration at all. I do shoot 147s out of this. 124s, 115s are still a bit loud, but I think overall this shoots really nicely. I didn't have any type of extraction issues or feeding issues or anything like that with this particular gun with this suppressor. Let me know in the comments below if you've had any issues with other suppressors or things not working with this particular gun. So one, I guess I wouldn't say it's necessarily a bad thing, but one thing I did notice is that with this particular suppressor on this gun, I did notice that I did get hit in the face with a few pieces of powder from each round that I shot, and it kind of startled me. So when you're shooting this thing suppressed, I mean, it goes without saying, but make sure you're wearing eye pro. So that was all the good stuff, or at least the positives that I think are good. Now let's move on to some of the negative things. Some of the negative things that I actually found with this gun were actually people that I had shoot it. There's a couple friends that I have that have pretty large hands, and one thing that I did notice having this thinner back strap on is the fact that it is really hard for them to kind of keep a grip of. Yeah, it's stippled pretty nicely. I don't know if you can see that right there. People with bigger hands may not like this gun, even with the other back strap, and I'll show you what that looks like. So you have this back strap right here, and then you have this kind of wider one here. So I don't know if you can see that. Let me kind of get a focus on that. See how it's kind of got a little bump there. But yeah, it's a little bit, it's not super, you know, it's not that much bigger than this one, but it does make a difference. But I prefer the thinner back strap, mainly because I feel like I can get a better purchase on that gun. A lot of people don't. Another thing too that actually was brought to my attention, that the frame, and this, I guess you can have this with a lot of different polymer framed pistols, is the fact that you can squeeze this really hard and the magazine won't come out. So I don't grip my gun that hard, but if you're one that grips your gun overly hard, then this may not work for you, but that's pretty rare. I've talked to a few gunsmiths about this gun, and they had a lot of negative things to say, mainly because when they go to do trigger jobs for this, and this is the trigger that it comes in, it's got a little kind of Glock style, you know, pivoting shoe there. A lot of them didn't like replacing these with Apexes because it's so dang hard to take apart. And due to the YouTube regulations, I'm not going to take the slide off or anything like that, but let me know in the comments below if you've had issues with the trigger as well, at least replacing it, how difficult it is. If you've had an easy time, let me know. I'm curious. One big elephant in the room with this gun is the price. I've seen it, like I said in the beginning of this video, that it ranges anywhere from $7.99 to, you know, $10.49. And honestly, I think what you get out of the box is worth the price, but there's a lot of other striker fired pistols that are coming out on the market, and you know, this is a few years old already, but there's a lot of them on the market that have this stuff, you know, like Optic Plates and Ambidextrous Controls, threaded barrel, height sights, all that stuff. And so I think you just need to weigh your, I guess, weigh the pros and cons, weigh your budget, all of that stuff, as to whether or not you'll purchase this gun over something else. I wouldn't say this is necessarily a bad thing or necessarily a good thing, but another thing is I always try to look for guns that have a lot of aftermarket support. And I think nowadays you get a lot of companies out there that make holsters, that make optics that fit it, you know, and they're doing a pretty good, FN's doing a pretty good job of adding plates for optics in out of the box. And so, but one thing I do always weigh when I'm buying a gun, how much aftermarket support does it actually have? Because that allows me to shop for, you know, a wider variety of holsters, whether that be outside the waistband or inside the waistband. So just kind of weigh your options. I know there's a lot of great companies out there that make holsters for this gun that fit, you know, one or two different lights, you know, typically the TLR series or, you know, the common Surefire X300s. You know, like companies like QVO Tactical, Tier 1 Concealed, McKenna Tech holsters, they all probably make something that fits those light combinations. So just do your shopping before you even purchase the gun, and I think you will be good to go. And you'll be surprised about how many companies actually do support this. But just a word of caution, just a word of advice, just be sure to do your due diligence on aftermarket support. Overall, I think I'm pretty neutral about this gun. I like it, but I also am a little, I'm always a little skeptical about guns that I haven't run, you know, 1,000, 2,000 rounds through, you know, like my Glock or like the Staccatos I've owned in the past. You know, I may do an update video down the road as to, you know, what my thoughts are 1,000 rounds, 2,000 rounds down the road. See if there's any parts that I needed to replace. So stay tuned for that. On FN's site, they advertise that this is anywhere from 5.5 to 7 pound pull. So that makes sense that people want to upgrade that trigger, because I think the Apex drops it down to 4 or 5-ish. Which is nice. I don't blame people that want to upgrade that trigger, because it is a little heavy, but honestly, I don't mind that. I would just say run it as is until you upgrade it and see, and maybe shoot one that is upgraded, see which one you like better. So let me know what you think about this gun. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Did you buy other FN products that you love even more? This was a very quick review. I appreciate all of your guys' support, and I hope to make more videos on guns and other gear items that I think you're gonna like. Once again, thanks again to Gulf Coast Guns for sending this gun out to me. I really appreciate it, and yeah, so I will see you guys in the next video.